Aaron Burnett out front. Weeknights at 7, only on CNN.
Part of this dusty New Mexico landscape disappeared back in 2008 into two massive sinkholes, triggering shockwaves of confusion and anxiety that more would follow.
I think it's quite likely that a sinkhole will form here.
So it's not a matter of if, it's when.
Yes, I would say that's probably the case. It's not a matter of if, but when. But when could be a century from now, or it could be next week.
But here is the problem. If a sinkhole craters on this spot, it wouldn't just be happening in the middle of nowhere, a wide open oil field in southeast New Mexico. It would actually be happening at one of the busiest intersections here in the town of Carlsbad, New Mexico.
Potential sinkhole.
Louis Land is a geologist and sinkhole expert at New Mexico Tech. He's spent years studying what might happen if a third sinkhole swallows up part of Carlsbad.
As best we can tell, its lateral extent is from the roughly where that traffic light is, and then that way beneath the canal and underneath the northern edge of that mobile home park.
So that welcome to Carlsbad sign could...
That's exactly right. Yeah,
disappear in a second.
Yeah, I frequently, I always try to have my camera with me so that whenever I come this way, just in case something happens as I'm driving by.
When the first two sinkholes emerged, experts quickly figured out they weren't a natural occurrence. It was man-made. They opened above two salt mines. State officials quickly shut down mining operations at this third site inside Carlsbad city limits. But Louis Land says this place is still a time bomb waiting to implode.
It's not a stable configuration. I think that we know that there's a cavity down there beneath us because they were mining it out.
Look at this graphic cross-section of the ground under this corner of Carlsbad. All of the blue you see is an unstable salt well cavern. Land says it's so close to the ground surface, it could collapse at any time.
These are indicators that we use to monitor if we get an alarm.
Joel Arnwine is the county's top emergency manager. He's had to develop a response plan in case the sinkhole starts cratering.
This is a tilt meter.
Including ground sensors that monitor ground movement 24 hours a day.
Where we're standing could very well collapse.
It could.
Any day.
It could.
And when that happens, I mean, how large of a hole are we talking about?
It's relatively unclear.
Because of the sinkholes, the company operating here, I&W, was fined $2.6 million and declared bankruptcy. A former company official told us I&W was wrongly targeted and had followed state-approved mining regulations. The experts say the next sinkhole could easily be several hundred yards in diameter. It threatens a feed store, a church, a water canal for downstream farmers, a railroad line, a mobile home park, and two major highways coming into town.
It's like a huge headache, isn't it?
It really is. It definitely is a planning challenge.
The threat of another sinkhole still looms over this far-flung western outpost. Ed Lavandera, CNN, Carlsbad, New Mexico.